Hey there everyone, ODM here coming at you with a Vanguard Overdress deck profile on Bastion for set 3. So, this deck is still easy mode. I like calling it that, it's very funny because one of my D&D friends plays with this deck only because it's so easy to pilot. It's a very easy deck to pilot, it's one of the dumbest decks to pilot, and I love it. Keter Sanctuary is so good with Bastion. So let's talk about the right deck here. We got a Knight of Heavenly Base, a Bow base. When the unit is rolled upon, we go second, draw a card. And then we got Rooks here. When it's rolled upon by the grade 2, you reveal 2 grade 3s in your hand. And then reveal the top card of your deck, call it. And if it isn't a unit, you have to put in drop. And then the rearguard ability doesn't matter because I only run one in the right deck. But let's just read it anyway. Rearguard ability at Counterblast 1, once per turn, choose one of your grade 3 Vanguards and it gets 5k. That's why we, Then Rooks, when it's rolled upon by Bastion, reveal 3 grade 3s and draw a card. And then the rearguard ability doesn't matter. He gets boost if you have enough grade 3s out, because I only run one of each of these. But then Bastion here. Apex Ruler Bastion is so good. Set 4 is going to be amazing for him when he gets his grade 4, Bastion Prime. It's amazing. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. So, Vanguard ability, continuous, during your turn all your grade 3s get 2k. You have to remember that because that number actually matters for the getting over magic numbers. And then once per turn, at the end of the battle, your drive check, reveal the grade 3, discard a card, choose one of your rearguards, stand it, and it gets 10,000 on your turn. So it's really strong because if you reveal grade 3 during the drive check, you can restand and swing again. And that's powerful because you're swinging for high numbers. Let's talk about so we got 4 PGs. So this is the only non-grade 3. Everything else is grade 3. And besides triggers, of course. But the PG is the only grade, not grade 3 we run. So, it nullifies all attack. It nullifies the one attack that's coming out of your Vanguard. 1 copy of this. Heavenly Shock of Distinction Laguri. This is a very RNG card. It's a one of, just because it's in set 3. Just came out. Rearguard ability, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, counterblast 2 and rest any number of your other rearguards until the end of the battle. This unit gets drive checks and gets 5,000 power. At the end of the battle, if you rest 3 or less units, choose 3 cards from your hand and discard them. And if you rest 1 or less units, you choose 2 cards instead. So ideally, you would not rest anybody. See, if you rest 3 or less. Yeah, if you rest 3 or less, choose 3 cards. And if you rest 1 or less, choose 2 cards instead. So ideally, you only want to rest 1 unit. Just because when you twin drive it with this card, you'll have to pitch 2, so you're not losing or plussing anything. You're just kind of use the ability, and then you lose. You basically lose. You gain 2 cards from the drive check, but then you lose 2 cards. So ideally, that's how I would do it. Yeah, that's how I would do it. That's the 1 copy because it's funny. And it actually would be helpful, because I think if you restand this with Bastion... Oh, it's at the end until the end of that battle. Never mind. So, it wouldn't work. I've never used his ability. I have one of him. I've never used him yet. And then this card, I run 2 of it. It's from set 2. Heavenly Bow of Edifying Guidance Reversals. So, if you Persona ride this turn, this gets boost. That effect doesn't matter anymore because there's a new order that gives all your grade 3s boost. Back roll ability, once per turn, when your other unit stand by a card effect, you can stand this. So when you stand the Bastion effect, you can stand him up too. So he's a way more consistent unit because you don't have to rely on the Persona ride to get the boost ability. Because he already have boost, and then he could just, then the main ability is that he can just restand along with the unit you stand with Bastion. 4 of the Fossado. When this unit cannot be chosen by card effect, so he's like Trickstar, you can't target it for anything. And then when this unit attack hits, counter charge 1 and soul charge 1. So it's very strong. People want to kill this card, but it's really hard because you have to literally swing at it. You can't choose it for retiring effects or anything. Then you run 4 of the Refluke. Put this unit into your soul. Choose one of your grade 3 rearguards, and it gets 10k until the end of turn. So this just buffs up your grade 3s even more. Very good card. And then this is your shield power right here. Actual analysis, Kokapao. So if your Vanguard, it's Apex Ruler Bastion, this unit gets 5k for every 2 of your grade 3s. So this card will probably leave the deck because it specifically says Apex Ruler Bastion for set 4. Because I'm going to be maining Bastion Prime. So this card will probably go out, but there's a lot of support in set 4, so there'll probably be better replacements for it, for shield power and all that. Then I run 4 Olden. This card is so good. When it's placed on rear guard, Counterblast 2, Soul Blast 1. Choose a card from your hand, call it the rear guard, you call the grade 3, draw 2 cards. It's amazing. It's super good. When this unit attacks, you have 3 or more grade 3 units, it gets 5k till end of turn. So this card is super good. Like, this deck kind of plays itself, to be honest. And 3 Bastion for the Persona ride. You know, the whole, like, if you ride on top, you get 10k to the front row and draw a card. Very strong. You would run 3 of that because you want a Persona ride as much as you possibly can. You'll probably go out of the deck to run Bastion Prime instead. Like, this will be the main line, but I want to get to Bastion Prime the entire time. So these 3 will probably be replaced with Bastion Prime. Not sure if I'll run 3 or 4, to be honest. But we'll see how the deck works out. Now for the orders. So 3 of this one. Form up O Chosen Knights. Play this with Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1. Perform all the effects below according to the number of grade 3 units you have out. So if I have 2 or more out, choose one of your units, it gets 5k. If I have 3 or more, draw a card. If I have 4 or more, choose one of your Vanguards, it gets +1 drive until end of turn. So this card is very busted. Deck just gets stronger and stronger. Then I run 2 of this one. I like it because you only need the 1, but if you were to draw another, there's a lot of fodder you can pitch with it. Like Bastion needs to pitch a card, so you can just pitch it if you need to. Play this with pitch a card. So this also pitches the card, so you can just pitch the second copy if you got another one out. Then all your grade 3 rear guards get boost. Super, super strong. So having your grade 3s consistently getting boost helps a lot. It helps so much. I played only like 1 or 2 games with this deck so far, so it's like being able to consistently boost is very, very good. Let's check out the triggers. New trigger. So we run forward the new trigger, critical trigger. Its effect is at the end of the battle, this unit boosted. Put this unit into your soul. Choose one of your units. It gets 2,000 power. So it's good for that soul charging, and that's literally it. And the buff doesn't hurt. Then 3 of the old crits, so we run 7 crits total. It's very good. Then 4 draw, I believe. Yeah, 4 draw, just because you need to get as many cards in your hand as possible, just so you can defend yourself and get your grade 3s rolling. 4 heal triggers, and then 1 of the over trigger. I never hit the over trigger, ever since over triggers became a thing. I have never done this. So until the end of turn, if you trigger this, you also perform drive checks for the battles with your rear guards attack. So it's really strong. I've experienced this only once since Vanguard Overdress started with Bastion and all that. I've only hit this once. It's sad. It's very sad. But yeah, I always hit defensively. I never hit over triggers offensively, and then when I do, I still lose. So that's deck profile for Bastion. I'm very excited to see where this deck keeps going. Like, easy mode becomes easier mode with the grade 4 Bastion Prime coming in set 4. I'm very excited for Bastion Prime. Bastion Prime is too good, to be honest. Bastion Prime is basically Bastion, except instead of standing 1 rear guard, it stands them all up. And that's really good. That's really strong. Like, dang, Bastion. So much support for the main characters. Because all of the main characters got their grade 4s, so it's like, ah. Anyways, thanks for watching my Vanguard Overdress deck profile on Bastion. Set 3 looks to be very fun, a good stepping stone before Set 4 comes out in February, hopefully in February. Delays have been happening left and right this year. and it's only January. So, fingers crossed, no delay for set 4. Fingers crossed. So, all right. See you all next time.